Good morning, good morning. This is Jacqueline Richardson, Miss JJ Diamond, Deja, Jackie, whatever y'all call me. First, we want to thank God for another day. Did y'all know everybody don't wake up? Let's see what the weather is here today in Charlotte. Alexa, what's the weather today here in Charlotte?
Currently, in Charlotte, it's 44 degrees Fahrenheit with clear skies and sun. You can expect more of the same today, with a high of 69 degrees and a low of 41 degrees.
It is kind of chilly, y'all. Ooh. Think about making some chili or some soup or something, because this is kind of nippy. Today, first I want to say congratulations to Roy Cooper. He has won the election here, and for those that don't know, Roy Cooper is our governor here in North Carolina, and he has won the election here in North Carolina, and we are pleased to have him because he listens to the people. I am thankful because he really listens, y'all. Y'all know I pitch a tizzy about things that ain't right. And he has fixed several things here in North Carolina with me pitching a tizzy. So I want to thank him. In the beginning of this COVID, he was really stressed out, and we seen it. His hair was sticking up, but now he's looking good again with his hair slicked down. So we are proud to have, him as our governor. Thank you, Governor Cooper, and I hope to, continue to give you what's going on out here in Charlotte. And if I can't, you can always call me on the phone. You know how that works. Okay, I want to get into my podcast this morning. Everybody wants to know about, y'all found out about how I met Buster. All these things happened when I was a child. Even though I still look young, y'all got to realize, I'm really 50 years old. I was born in 1970. So I know I look young. However, the age stands. I can't change that. But I've met a lot of these people when I was young because I was out there in this industry. And things were a lot different than it is now. The things that I see that go on today is unreal compared to how we did things back in my time. Okay, back in the 90s. These people today is unreal. They just need to cut a lot of these people out of the industry because things is just going haywire, and I don't like it personally. However, I thought the industry was bad back in the day. No, it's bad today. We're talking about Dougie Fresh today. Okay, Dougie Fresh and Diddy. My affiliation with Diddy. I've never met Diddy. I can't wait to meet Diddy. But I do have affiliation with Diddy. This is why Diddy helped me on the album, his album on Spotify. So I'm thankful for that. Meek Mills. I want to tell y'all about Meek Mills real quick, and then I'll get into the Dougie Fresh thing. When I came back into this industry, I talk to Meek Mills almost every single day on social media. Every single day, me and Meek talked, and I kind of miss it, We used to chit chat back and forth. I was telling him different stories and different things, about my life in the past, and he kept trying to tell him, I believe her, I don't know what y'all talking about, but I believe her. And he started getting the word out. He started running with the older people and started telling them, oh, that's such. And they're like, oh, okay. She's building a label. Okay, so we're going to help her. You know what I mean? So I'm so thankful for all of you guys, even though it's been a hard road throughout this duration. I'm so thankful for all of y'all guys, and especially me for getting that word out, because he was the only one that I physically told where I stood in this industry in the past, and he definitely got that word out. But first we're going to talk about Dougie. Okay. Now, I met Dougie. It's funny how I met him, but I already knew of him because my daughter's father used to beatbox just like him, and it's funny because they used to live across the street from each other at one point, So, I would see this guy. And he's like, yeah, that's the other guy that beatbox, and I'm like, oh, okay, what's his name? And they told me his name. I'm like, okay. So, Dougie was doing his thing, he was getting bigger and bigger. I started hearing his name more and more. By this point, my baby father decided to get out of the music thing. Everybody knew who my baby father was. He walked around with his earphones on. He always had on a fresh pair of Uptowns, which what they call them, Air Force Ones, I guess. I don't know what they call them, but we call them Uptowns from New York. So he always had on a fresh pair of Uptowns, and he would have on his earphones, and he'd be beatboxing and listen to the music. He was big into that. So that's pretty much how. I don't know. I believe he was supposed to do a battle, but he never did it. I don't think I'm talking about my daughter's father right now. I don't think that he was really set for the industry. I'm not sure. It's not for everybody. Everybody can't take the pressure. So I get it, and that's probably why he decided not to go further. However, we are everyday people. So when you're on the block, you see people, you say hello. I was a walker, so I used to walk everywhere. Me and my girlfriends, we would be all up and down Harlem, from Washington Heights all the way down to 125th Street, sometime even 116th Street, 115th Street, 110th Street, Central Park. That's how far we would walk. Miles and miles. Okay. So, we knew the hood. We knew everybody, and that's just how it was. Anybody from that area knows who I am. And I lived on 147th Street between Broadway and Amsterdam, which was a very, very, very high profile block. Okay. Like I told y'all before in one of my last podcasts, if you go in the precinct, you can see my pictures on the wall. That's how high profile my block was. So, one day I'm walking down Amsterdam Avenue, and me and my girlfriend, Serena, we was walking down the street, and Dougie pulling, he driving past, and he seen us. So, most of the guys, when they see you and they know you and they see you walking, if you're going their way, they'll, give you a ride. So he pulls up. And the way the guys does it in Harlem, I don't know how they do now, because things are so different today, is they're not going to stop their car right in front of you. They'll pull up before, try to come up before you. And then as you walk up, they'll say, hey, where you going? You need a ride. So that's what happened. Dougie and his friend, we used to call him Frog Eyes. I don't know his real name. I'm sorry for calling him Frog Eyes. I don't know if that ever hurt him or not, but that's what we used to call him. So I don't know no other name. But it was Dougie and his friend Frog Eyes, and they pulled up in the Jeep, okay, the MCM Jeep. It was nice, y'all. The first time I ever seen something custom made. And when he pulled up, he said, hey, where y'all going? Because he knew us, from the block, because he lived like, what was it, 158th? I can't remember the exact street, y'all, but I believe it was 158th in Amsterdam, around in that area, 158th, 159th. I can't remember. But anyway, they was coming down Amsterdam. They was like, hey, what's up, y'all? What's up, y'all? So we know them because we see them all the time. We walk past them. Hey, what's up? Y'all need a ride? Where y'all headed? Oh, we going to 147. All right, well, jump in, So I'm like, oh, shit, you giving us a ride, all right? So I get in, like, damn, this truck is hot, So shout out to Dougie. I'm like, this truck is it, So when I came back into the industry, of course, I had to put that in my song. Why would I leave out Dougie when he's physically picked me up off the street while I'm walking, put me into this custom-made vehicle, and, I had to put it in the song. So yeah, that I have a verse about that in the song with me and Chris Brown on War for You, which I should be releasing soon. I have to. This new distributor of mine, he is very subconscious about everything, about the songs that was redistributed. But I keep trying to tell him, listen, I'm wanting to call him son because I don't know how old he is, but I be trying to tell them, like, you got to go to the ASCAP and see these who's connected to who. You know what I mean? Contact Google. You know what I mean? So they trying to come out with all this other stuff because a lot of people wasn't giving people credit for the songs that they were making. It was just releasing them and it wasn't giving them the credit. So, and I understand, I understand what the problem is. However, they be wanting all of this information. And I'm like, look, contact RCA, contact this one, contact that one. Why you harassing me? You know what I mean? It wasn't that bad with Universal. Universal, I guess they have their information, so they was able to contact Universal easy. So it was no problem for me to distribute number one spot with Ludacris. Well, it wasn't with Ludacris. I redid the song. So they was able to contact them. They was able to contact Lloyd Banks, but a lot of these other people, I guess they don't answer the phone or don't get the emails or whatever the case may be, so it becomes a problem. And this is why I need y'all to contact me directly so we can get this stuff popping and put back on high streaming, But anyway, getting back to Dougie. So yeah, well, he pulls up on 47th Street, the high profile block, and people know I used to hang with, they had money, okay? And we did a lot of things, and I've seen and been with people with major money, before the rap game, before I even got out there, I was dating a guy with a Lamborghini, a black Lamborghini back when I was 16, so yeah, that was my life, however, we pull up on the block. Now everybody's like, oh, now she hanging with the rappers. I mean, Dougie was a rapper, but he was a bebop artist as well, And so we jump out the car, so we getting all this love, because we jumping out the MCM Jeep, So it was big. It was big for the block. It was big for me and Serena at the time. And we got a lot of love from that. So shout out to Dougie for that, picking us up, so we wouldn't wear our shoes down, walking up and down Harlem. But yeah, we still love you, Dougie. And then I also shouted out Dougie in my song "Don't Talk." Y'all can get that anywhere, streaming everywhere. To do the Dougie, because we back in the day we had fun with this thing, with this entertainment thing. We had a lot of fun. These people today is all about who got more. Everybody's always competing. It's always some drama, things are totally different now. We went to the clubs, went to the parties to support the artists. We partied, we had fun. There was no shooting, there was no killing. There was none of that. We all left there happy people. You know what I mean? This is what we did. Now everybody is on some old crazy wildness. Oh, I'm going out here to the club so I can try to rob this one or hurt this one because they fame is higher than this one. And then people don't got time for that. We had fun with our thing. You know what I mean? And that's why if I'm rolling with this thing, I want to roll with the older crew because they know how to do things a little bit better than y'all younger people. I can't deal, you know what I mean? So, and I'm here every day to try to teach y'all what we did back in the day. Things was totally different. I was able to go to the club and dance, feel comfortable, and my people showed me love. You know what I mean? Today, I couldn't do that because if I do that and people know me, they might want to try to hurt me. Because my fame is a little bit higher than theirs. So things is a lot different today. And this is why we don't deal, it's not that we trying to be so private. We got to protect ourselves. We have families. We have, lives. So this is why we don't interact with all that stuff. You see a lot of us on social media, doing podcasts or talking. Shout out to Dougie for the health podcast that you just came out with, us older people, we're big on health. We have to be because we want to live long. We want to be able to talk about this when we're 80. You know what I mean? Where y'all not even making it to 20. So y'all need to think about these things. You know what I mean? It's the reason why God got us through. So now we're here to teach you. So pay attention, your youngins that's coming up in this industry. Yeah, we had drama. But it wasn't the same type of drama y'all had today. So right now, most of us older ones is just focusing on giving y'all messages and teaching y'all and hoping that y'all make it through. We're going to touch base now with Diddy. Diddy. I believe Meek got the information to Diddy because everything just went smooth. So I'm assuming he did get the information to Diddy, or Diddy might have read it on Facebook or something another, or the word just might have got to him because I had made the song with 50. Never met Diddy, but I met a lot of his family members that was working with him. And when I was working, I was doing home health work. His grandmother was my client. And it was nothing like going to work, taking care of Diddy's grandmother, because Diddy was a hot commodity back in the day. You know what I mean? Very loved in the city. You know, anytime Diddy had a party, anything, everybody wanted to be there, you know. So it was an honor to, you know, take care of his grandmother. I didn't take care of her for long because her regular aide had went on vacation, and I had to take care of her part-time until she came back. But it was nothing like going to the door, being in the kitchen with his cousins, and they just came from work, and they're talking about Diddy. Oh, he get on my nerves. He pisses me off. He's a boss, you know what I mean? So, you know, you go hear that. So, you know, I'm laughing in the kitchen, and they like, oh, he gets on my nerves. We got to work on this project now. He always got us working so much. I'm so glad to be home. It's like, you know, I see them, you know. Shout out to them. But he was a businessman, you know, and I had to respect it, you know. You know how sometimes people will judge people based on what other people say. I never judged him based on what other people say because I always wanted to be a business owner, and some of my family members were business owners, so I knew what they went through, so I was able to understand. So I never physically judged him or so, forget Diddy because the way he's acting with his, you know, his employees, his family members, or whatever the case may be. I knew he was a businessman and he was about his business. So I was like, okay, I hear y'all, you know, and pretty much that was that, you know. And then when Diddy found out who I was and what I was doing, you know, he decided to help me, you know, help me get my face out there, help me get my name out there so I can be the person that I desire to be in this industry for my children. What he has done for himself and his family, you know. I don't know if Diddy's, you know, hear these podcasts, but if you do, I love you, brother, and thank you for helping me throughout this duration. I'm here if you need me. Just pick up the phone, call me. Because today, emails just don't get through. But if you need me for anything, just let me know. And I thank you once again. I love you and your whole crew, Bad Boy Forever. You know, thank you. So, yeah, Diddy had my picture put on Spotify, and I appreciate it. You know, that picture became real popular. I was also putting out cards with this picture on it at the same time, you know. So that picture, you know, it really took flight. And I'm thankful that it did because it helped me get more and more sales. That picture is also the cover of the Just a Taste album that I haven't re-released yet. And You Know About Me is on that Just a Taste album, which was just released. And that song talks about me and my life, you know. That whole song is pretty much facts. The only thing that's not facts in it is when it says they brought me and 50 back together. It was actually me and Lloyd Banks. The reason why I used 50 name is because at the time 50 was dead in the industry, and I needed to help him come back up, so I used 50 name. However, it was really Lloyd Banks. 50 Cent was the product at the time, okay, but 50 Cent didn't come out, okay, when he came to Rochester. He didn't come out into the city of Buffalo. It was Lloyd Banks that came out to the city of Buffalo, so he actually is the one that deserves the credit for that song. But being that he's a part of G Unit, both of them are part of G Unit, we agreed upon putting 50 Cent in there, okay? So that's the only thing that wasn't pretty much the truth, but that whole song is my life. Okay, except for that part, two different names, but same concept. Yeah. So pretty much that was it. Banks was out in the city of Buffalo. Y'all know my name was very, very big in Buffalo. Deja was very, very big in Buffalo. So when the stars came out in Buffalo, they 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 roamed the city. Most of them came out to meet Deja. So Banks, he came out at the time I wasn't available, so we didn't get to physically meet. But he came out in the city, and that's what was important. In Buffalo, we did, like I told y'all, we did things totally different back in the day. The things that y'all do today is like unreal. However, that helped build G Unit a little bit more. That helped build Deja a little bit more because he still came out in the city, being that I requested it. Also requested that G Unit come to Buffalo. When you talk about Buffalo and Rochester, they pretty much the same city, but they're miles away. And most people, when they come, they either do big events at what is it called? The big convention center. I forget the name of it, y'all. But if they didn't come there, they'll come to the amusement parks, and they came to the amusement park. So that's where that lies right there. Other than that, yeah, that's who I am, y'all. I've been in this game for a long, long time, and like I said, I wasn't in the rap or the singing part of things. I was in the dance part of things, event holding part of things. I was what was popping. I'm gonna just give it to y'all. Well, I was just what was popping, and that's who I am, and I thank each and every one of these guys for keeping me popping, I was always into fashion, like I said, I danced. They used to, even though I wasn't stripping my clothes off, they made me feel like a stripper because they was throwing money at me in the clubs. Y'all hear that in one of my songs, XO, that's what they used to do. When I got to the club, they made sure I had my drinks. They made sure I ate whatever it took for me to get on that dance floor and dance, and I'm sad that I'm losing it because my body is getting older now, and dancing is a hard skill, y'all. Shout out to Usher and Chris Brown because they do it well. They kept the industry going. I used to look at Chris Brown on TV back in '98 when he was a young, and I was standing and watch his dance steps, and then I'll go out to the club and do it, and I got a lot of love from it. So shout out to Chris Brown. I love you. It was an honor when, me and him met, it was an honor, to look each other in the face for once, to know, this is the person that replicated you on the ground, and I know that's how he felt when he looked me in my eyes, yeah, I replicated you on the ground since you was young, and I've always adored you since you was young, so all my love goes out to him, and the song we have did pretty good, it's doing pretty good. They don't want to play it on radio. That's fine for me. It may not be fine for him because, everybody wants their love, so, but, yeah, those are the guys that really went above and beyond, and just to help me, in this industry. And I love each and every one of y'all. Even the younger ones that came up into the industry. I love you guys as well, because y'all heard the message and y'all went straight to it. We got to help Miss JJ. We got to help her because, I've been in this industry for a long time. And when you leave and try to come back, it's really hard, because now you got a new set of people. Every 10 years, you got a new set of people. And these people are like, well, who are you? You know what I mean? And you get it. You're like, okay, you don't know me. It's like I had to ask my daughter the other day, do you know who Buster is? And she's like, no. But he's all over the place. I said, yeah, I know. Well, let me tell you about Buster. Buster was a hot commodity back in the day. And he about to do it again. So I had to throw that at her. You know what I mean? And she's like, oh, okay. Now, this is like 3 generations down. The kids just don't be knowing who these people are, Granted, she knows Mary. They've taken Mary to a whole nother level. the kids, TikTok, and the radio is just constantly keeping her going. So Mary was one of the lucky ones to be four generations down. 50 Cent is one of them. Chris Brown is another one. Because they don't stop. They don't stay away too long. 50 did. He stayed away for a while, and then he started to come back. But yeah, these people are still here. They're still here because they did things the right way. Their goal was to become successful. Their goal was to live. Their goal was to take care of their families. Granted, they was in the media with certain things because, the media always got to find something to talk about, but this is what they done. They was working. Like when 50 disappeared for a long period of time. 50 was overseas making movies. There's movies that 50 has been in that y'all have never even seen. Okay? Granted, some of them I seen. So I knew how powerful he was. I knew what he deserved. But some of y'all really didn't. Especially when he came back on the scene. And 50, this is one thing I need you to do. I want to say this to him. I need you to start loving yourself a little bit more. You know what I mean? I know you love, a lot of the other rappers and stuff like that, but you need to learn to start loving yourself a little bit more because you have did that transformation from being an old school rapper to a new school rapper. You don't have to be that rapper that always jump on a track with somebody else to be the hottest rapper. You understand what I'm saying? At that moment, and I noticed you did that with this Pop Smoke album. You was on there, but how can I explain it? You grabbed a hold of the kids with your verse. Okay? You had this flair that, how can I put it? You are a hook writer. And then the way you present it, the kids love it. So you don't need to be on these songs with all these younger people for them to accept you because you have that flair for this generation. Just utilize it. Okay? I just want to throw that out there because 50 always thinks he needs to be on a song with somebody else, and that's one of the things that he has going on with himself. I love you, 50. But, I mean, you grab these kids, Egypt, even though she knew who you was because I made a song with you, I get in the car, we turn on the radio, and she's like, turn it up, 50 Cent part coming. And I'm like, you don't like the Pop Smoke part? Yeah, but I like the 50 Cent part. But listen to how he says this, Ma. And she jamming in the back, So I'm just giving you what I see, and I'm around kids every day. And the kids be jamming, you know what I mean? When they hear 50 say certain things. Just like in the song, I'm talking about that I have featured in. When you talk about folding a hoe. They love that. He's a great hook writer, or reciter. Hold on, y'all. I got to get Egypt up to school. Egypt, come on, get up. It's time for school. And I'm on my podcast, and I'm going to finish this up. So, come on, get up. I don't want to have to come back up in here. You do have school. Oh, that's right. You don't have school. You off for the rest of the week, right? Oh, yeah, that's right. I'm sorry. I go back to sleep. I'm sorry. Oh, geez. See, y'all be having so much going on. I forgot to... I'm too loud? Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot the child ain't had no school. She ain't got no school the rest of the week. I forgot. I don't woke her up. I feel bad. That's what they dream for. To not have school. But anyway, yeah. So he has that flair that connects with the kids, and I just think that he needs to focus more on himself with this music because these people, they still love him, With my label, I make more money with 50 than anybody, and Drake is like the top rapper in the world right now, And I still make more money with 50. So he has that flair that can keep going, So I just wanted to throw that out there. This really wasn't about him. It's about Dougie and Diddy. But I wanted to tell y'all my affiliations with these guys. For those that want to know, why I be marketing certain guys. I gave you the story on DMX. I gave you the story on Busta. I gave you the story of Chris Brown. Y'all got plenty of stories about 50. And I'm giving y'all the story of Dougie and Diddy. Oh, I never gave y'all the story about Mobb Deep. Mobb Deep. Met them in Harlem. They rolled up on me when I first had my new truck. I had just got my new truck, my 4Runner. It was back in 97, I believe. It was in Harlem on 145th between Lenox and 8th at the gas station. And they pulled up, and me and we call her Charlie, Danielle, we was at the gas station getting gas. And Mobb Deep pulled up on us, and that's how I met them. So, I've always been in this circle of where I meet these rappers, and it was like it was a calling, for me to be a rapper. It was like, when God keep presenting something to you, and it's not that I was chasing them. It's not that they was always on scene somehow, some way, and like I told y'all about the RCA situation and Sony situation, it just seemed like this was my calling to become a music artist. So I said, okay, well, this is my chance now, but I'm doing it on my own because I don't want to be involved with these people, these companies that I don't know. But now that I'm getting to know some of these companies and how they work, I can appreciate it. So now I'm ready if I decide to sign off on one of these companies. However, pretty much this is my life, y'all. I mean, it's nothing I can do. It's nothing I could change. A lot of people thought I was lying. Why do I have to lie? I'm a grown woman, grown as grown can be, 50 years old. So there's no reason for me to lie about my life and my lifestyle. I was always popping, and that's just what it is. I always worked, made money, looked good. When I hit the streets, people knew me. I was kind, loving, I helped my friends, and that's who I am. Yeah, I always had a lot of haters. You can always have a lot of haters. That's just what it is. But this is my life, and I tell y'all some of the things that happened in my past, and it wasn't a pretty story, because I noticed a lot of y'all live off of, oh, my past was so bad. This is why I'm the person I am today. I'm a product of my past being so bad, and this is why I'm the person I am today. Okay, I'm not a negative person. I don't hurt people. I don't mistreat people. So when they throw that out there, it really eats at me. Sometimes when stuff eat at you and be picking at you, like, why are they trying to throw their lives out there to say that this is why they've made this mistake? No, you made that mistake because that's what you chose to do. Your world, your choices. You know what I mean? So, because you got all these other rappers that made mistakes. They know they made the mistake. It might have went away, but they don't keep bringing that stuff up. You know what I mean? Because they know they made a mistake. They let it go and kept going. But when you sit back and you constantly talking about, oh, well, when I was a kid, I was hungry. When I was a kid, this happened. When I was a kid, listen. We all go through challenges when they're children, and somebody got a worse story than you do, okay? But we get through it with the grace of God. I constantly tell people, you can't do nothing if you don't have a higher power, and our higher power is the Almighty God. And this is where y'all are failing to realize why some of these other rappers, meaning the older rappers, have made it and stayed in this industry for a long time. Longevity. The world don't have to know about all your business. They just don't have to know. Once you make your life totally public, it's a problem. Because now they're going to judge you based on everything you do. So this is for the newer generation, because I see some things out there that just ain't right. and I just had to let y'all know. And when y'all constantly broadcasting everything the way y'all do, it actually takes away your sales and start making people dislike you. People don't want to hear from you no more because you're just in the media too much. By that point, it's time for you to let go and then come back. This is what we do. Okay? So just to let some of y'all know. I know some of y'all can't afford to let go. If you can't afford to let go, then you need to go get a job. It's simple. Because guess what? Us people from New York that was in this industry, if the money wasn't coming in the way it used to, we go get a job. Whether it's in the music industry or it's another type of job. This is what we do. Okay? We didn't run around starving because we scared to go out there and get a job. We went out, got work. It's nothing in New York. For somebody to see you working somewhere and be like, oh, what's up? How you been? I'm good. Blah, blah, blah. All right, good seeing you. Good seeing you too. What's your next project? I don't know. But okay, well, we'll get up. Okay, bye. Keep it moving. When y'all make your songs, y'all talking about people, snapping at people. This is why y'all can't go out there and work, because y'all afraid that whatever y'all said in your songs, it's going to come back to you. If you don't have that type of power, then don't talk about people. Because you never know when you might have to touch base on the ground. I'm going to use a person like, even though R. Kelly, he did all his dirt and what he did, and, we can't stand him right now. But he made good music. Platinum, diamond songs. I mean, the man took this music thing to a whole nother level. But guess what? When that money stopped coming in, what did he do? He went and got a job. It might have been a McDonald's job, but he went and got a job. So why are y'all trying to change this industry? Yeah, granted, we do have some of the artists that they sold drugs. Whatever it took. But their land, they didn't love their career more than the money, because they jeopardized their lives from losing their career, because somebody can call at any given time to say, hey, we got $40,000, $50,000 on the line for you right now. So those ones put their lives on the line. That's them. You don't have to do that. Get a job. A record label cannot, when they put you on the shelf and say, well, you're going to sit down for a minute, they cannot tell you that you cannot go get a job. But when they're ready and they got 50, 60, 100,000, 200,000 on the table for you, hey, you got to quit that job and keep it moving. But at least you're able to survive meanwhile. Don't be out here robbing people or scamming and all this other stuff. I've seen so much stuff in this industry. It's unreal. And I'm glad a lot of the older guys are coming back. So y'all can see. This is not a game, people. This is real. This is real life. And we all in this together. Don't nobody want to be in it with y'all if y'all on that negative nonsense. If I got to be afraid to stand next to you, I got to be afraid to walk in the mall with you. We don't want that. That's not how we did things. It was nothing to run up and meet a celebrity or somebody big in the industry and y'all walking down the street together talking. Just like I told you with Dougie. He pulled up with his MCMG, picked me up and brought me home. It was nothing to it. It was nothing to, matter of fact, I'm going to use Nas for instance. He's one, even though I never met Nas. He was one that'll roll up in people projects. Roll up, hey, this rapper was hot. Let me roll up and see what's going on with him. Hey, what's up? This is what we did. They wasn't scared to pick up the phone. They wasn't scared to come knock on a person's door. So y'all got to get it together. Y'all minds are messed up. And if you don't move further in this industry, it's your world, it's your choice. You can't blame nobody but yourself. Faith over fear, people. And this is why I had to talk about that. Faith over fear. This industry got to get back to the way it used to be. People don't even want to have shows with certain people because they're afraid. It's sad. You got, even in the athlete side of things, and I'm both sides. I got some of my kids right here in Charlotte is telling me, and they're good and they wanted to be an athlete, but just because of the things that they see in the NBA or the NFL, they're being deterred because of the things that they see. Y'all have to get it together. And this is just the bottom line. Y'all are the soul of entertainment. Athletes are the soul of entertainment for the world. People are watching, and nowadays it's real big where people can watch you in other countries because it's streaming on demand. So when they see your name come down the timeline because you undone something negative, or you hit your girlfriend, killed your girlfriend, or killed the man at the party, or, come on, people. Y'all making kids feel like, instead of being their heroes, y'all making them feel like, I don't want that. I might as well not be nothing. I don't want all that extra stress. I'm telling y'all what y'all doing. Okay? So, y'all check yourselves. And I'm talking to the rappers as well. Y'all check yourselves. Y'all see rap. Look at T.I. 1 minute he in Atlanta, then he going to the heart of Philly. Chilling with the people. Shout out to T.I. Like that new song. Get it together. You don't run from the money. Because you're afraid. What have you done that you need to be afraid of? What have you done? What have you said? So check yourself when you're writing these songs. If you are sure that what you're saying is not going to harm you, there's nothing you should be afraid of. It's like me. I ride around every day. I see the cops. I ain't no criminal. I see the cops. Matter of fact, cop waved at me yesterday. I waved back. Why should I be afraid to see the police? Oh, because I'm black? No. Why should I fear a police officer? Because I have dark skin? And this is what happens a lot of times. A lot of people get caught up in bad situations because they fear something and it makes them look guilty. When you're fearing something, it makes you look guilty. So, when you don't have nothing to fear, you don't look guilty. I ride clean. My car insurance is paid. I got registration. We know these are the laws. Got my driver's license on me, just in case they need to see. Here it is. Your computer ain't working because you can pull me up in there. But if it ain't working, here you go. It's simple, people. Don't make things harder than what it is. Let this thing flow free, because we the ones that give people happiness, not misery. Music was always to give people happiness. Entertainment was to give people happiness when they had nothing else. They had music. They had sports to keep them happy. It could be one person living in a household by themselves, but if they turn on the music, they don't feel alone. If they turn on the TV and watch the sports, they don't feel alone. They feel a part of the world. And y'all taking that away from the people. This is Miss JJ, Jacqueline Richardson, Deja, Jackie, whatever y'all call me. Y'all know how to reach me. Y'all got to get it together. I'll talk to y'all tomorrow.